Have you ever brought anyone on to just, but like, known you shouldn't have, but just thought,
oh, when it's been dead and
not
you haven't
dead,
done your job.
but like something's happening and you go, fuck off. Like, nah, fuck this. Someone else can deal with it.
Oh, yeah. Like, yeah. Like when you've said like, oh,
when you've done something and you go, that was probably my fault, but I'm fucking not.
The worst one is when you have you like mentioned someone, but you go, oh, is that your mum? And they're like, no, it's my bird. Have you ever done that?
Yeah.
And then it's like, all right, here's Phil. Phil, it's staying in this time. Hey, I'm not touching this.
It's always Phil though. So
twice
I brought Chapman on the worst I've ever done it with fucking Valentine's Day about 3 years ago. I was sure it was you, wasn't it? Oh mate, fucking hell, fucking a full on like the first there's a group in the front, right, and I'm picking on the guy's massive, so I'll pick on him straight away. And because he's drinking rosé, so I'm calling him a pussy, right? And everyone's laughing at the fact that I'm calling him a pussy because he's a big dude. But like the way I'll do that, obviously you've seen me. I'll go, you pussy, and then I'll back, and I'll big him up. Then do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and I'll kind of go back and forth with it, because so he doesn't feel like a knobhead. But then I calls him a pussy, and then I asked him what he did. 3 seats down, his missus is sat smashed. I didn't even know they were together, and starts going, he's my fella and he's a knobhead, and starts giving him loads of shit, right?
No.
But because I'd called him a pussy, it just compounded it, because then he looked like a pussy.
Yeah.
So he's fucking fuming now. And she's like, and every time I asked him a question, his name, she was answering for him. I was like, he can speak for himself. She was like, oh, I'd be surprised if he could. He's a fucking idiot. And giving him loads though. And it was, so I moved away and I left it. And fucking then Pat Monahan goes on and goes back at him. So it makes it 10 times worse. Break happens and it comes back and fucking there's only 2 people left in the group. And I was like, oh fuck it. And then someone come on and went, oh, they've just had murder outside. It's kicked off. And I was like, I'm not talking about it. Because it's so fucking deaf, innit?
Yeah. So
I goes, like, I'm just gonna ignore it. Goes back on, starts moving. And someone from the back goes, what's happened to Darren? Which was his name in the front. And I was like, fuck. And I was like, shit, man, this is fucking... So I had to ask the people, I went, what's happened? And the fella went, I know he looks big enough, he's the gentlest man ever. And like, I've never even seen him kick off before. This is probably why she treats him like that, but like, he just fucking lost his shit outside. He smashed his phone, he's fucked up. They got 2 kids, they've been together 12 years, and it's like, he said he's not fucking coming back and that. And I was like, fucking hell, I've ruined like a 12-year relationship on Valentine's Day.
This is the thing, like, you do that heavy. Loads. How many times have you spoke to a couple in a gig and then like even after 5 minutes you're just like, you should not be together.
The loads of
like there's no way
the guy who ruins it.
You fucking should be together because you hate him and you hate her and you've been looking at her and you've been looking at him.
Because they do that thing with it, like, and then they start having digs at each other, but going, yeah, because she's like, we've been together too long.
Yeah. So sorry, I'm like this. I'm just hungry because she hasn't fucking made me any tea again for years. But for years though, like. She loves the dog more. Literally, the dog sleeps in. I sleep downstairs.
Yeah, horrible, isn't it? And everyone's going, oh.
Yeah, it's the worst, man.
Yeah. So fucking, I was like, you know, when gets that tension, and you're like, fuck, I'm gonna have to do something to break this. Yeah. So she was like, yeah, he's fucked off, and I was like, fucking hell, and everyone just went. And I was like, shit, I'm gonna have to say something. I've got to bring a fucking actor. It was Chapman, right? And I was like, I can't fucking bring. And I was like, oh, well, to be fair. Like, he's probably better off because she was a bit of a knobhead like that. And everyone went, I laughed. And I was like, fuck, I'm out of it. But then she'd come back in and stood at the side. And as I said that, she just went and walked in, sat in the middle of the front row and just started going and crying at the house out. And I just went, so ladies and gentlemen, we've got another actor.
Mate.
I just brought Phil to the stage.
That's why he's called Phil, because he has to fucking Phil all the time.
I always remember walking past him as he looked at me as if to go, he just looked at me as if to go, you cunt. And I was like, I shook his hand and went, mate, I'm so sorry.
Have you